Hello, hello. Welcome to today's Friday live stream. This is one of my favorite days of the week where I get to connect with you and share valuable wisdom, insight, strategies, all the things that you can use in your business to start getting results and make shifts right away. If you are new to my world, I am Celia Faye Meisel. I am an innovative sales strategist. And in the last few years, I've supported over $13 million in high-end program sales in various capacities, from being a sales team lead to being a coach and a consultant. And it is just an honor and joy to get to support my clients in all these different capacities and share my wisdom with you. And so today we're going to be diving into two very important components of scaling your business and moving to that next level that can just make the world of difference. So, in my business journey, what I found is every time I hit an obstacle in my business, a growth challenge, something shifted, something changed, something stopped working, whatever it was, I found that my natural sort of place that I was gravitated to or drawn to was strategy. Like I always wanted to learn a new strategy. So there was a particular time in my business where I just was really frustrated. I felt like everything seemed hard for me and I just didn't know what to do. It was like really just gut aching, like what is going on with my business? Why aren't things working? Why aren't they working like I want them to? And so I went and I invested in a program, and the program was very good. It was an awesome program. How to close more sales calls, how to send better emails, all of those things. And it really, it helped me. It helped me take some strategic moves and things like that. So it's because I felt like, okay, I'm like doing something and I'm taking action. I have this like new strategy and these new tactics that I'm applying. Like I feel like I'm moving forward. And because I feel like I'm moving forward, I feel like I'm doing better in my business. And so then my mindset improves, my mood improves. I'm feeling better. I want to show up. I want to sell. I want to do the things because I'm feeling more confident because I learn these new strategies and these new tactics. But then, boom, what happens? Like maybe one day I wake up and I have a bad day, or I wake up and I'm not feeling great, or I wake up and just something isn't great. And so suddenly those strategies and those tactics, like they didn't feel so appealing anymore. I didn't really want to do my sales call script and I didn't really want to send better emails. And so I created and I started to notice that I was creating this pattern for myself of like wanting to go get the strategy, feeling good, my mood gets elevated, I take action, something happens, something doesn't go my way, I get knocked down, and now like I want to like what's next? Okay, I want to go and learn some more strategy, right? Well, I reached a point where it was like there was like no more strategy that I could learn, like literally. Like, yes, could I go and learn more strategies? Of course. But I had gotten to the point where I had kind of learned like everything that I wanted to learn about all the things that I want to learn about. I learned all the things I wanted to learn about sales calls and closing deals. I learned all the things that I wanted to learn about marketing. I was actually in a copywriting mastermind for 8 months. I learned what I wanted to learn about launching a podcast and having a show. Like there were just all these things that I learned and I picked up, and it was like, I really like don't want to go learn more strategies and tactics right now. Like I feel like I'm kind of done. Okay. And when I reached that point, and I was like, well, then, like, what do I do? Like, what do I, because I'm a learner. I love to learn and I love to grow. And I started to look back and see, okay, well, what was I really getting from the strategy? Okay, I'm learning the thing and then I feel confident. I feel like I know something new. So now I'm going to go apply it because I'm doing something and I'm taking action that like raises my mood and it raises my vibe. And then like I want to go do more things, and then I'm connecting with more people and like I'm feeling elevated because like I'm taking action and I'm creating momentum and I'm breaking out of inertia. And on the other side here was like, yes, I know what mindset work is. And yes, I've done mindset work and I have, but I really didn't see the connection between like my mindset and what I was thinking and those repeated patterns that I was thinking, and how like the thinking that I needed more strategy and tactic and more action to take was like actually a mindset. And so one day I'm literally like sitting here and I'm like, okay, like, what do I do? What do I do? Where do I go next? What's my next thing? Like, what do I want to shoot for? I know like I don't want to learn any more strategy. I don't want to learn any more tactic right now. Like that's not where I feel called. And it wasn't really a voice, but just like this feeling came over me of go inside and work on your mindset. Like mindset. And so the first thing that I did was I went to one of my favorite books, The Science of Getting Rich. And the first principle of The Science of Getting Rich says, thought is the only power which can produce tangible riches from the formless substance. The stuff from which all things are made is a substance which thinks, and a thought of form in this substance produces the form. Now, we could spend a whole live stream, a whole day just unpacking that one sentence. And I've read The Science of Getting Rich before several times, listened to the audiobook many, many times, but it hit me differently. Thought is the only power which can produce tangible riches from the formless substance. The stuff from which all things are made is a substance which thinks, and a thought of form in this substance produces the form. So I think that I need strategy and tactic to get a new result. Then I'm going to impress that thought on formless substance, and that's going to appear. So like new strategies are going to come my way, new tactics are going to come my way. And so at this point, something had to be going on inside of my psyche where I knew that like something different was going to happen and something was going to shift. And been on the personal growth journey for many, many years, and really doing like formal self-development, like actually knowing what self-development is and like doing it formally for over 10 years, even going back like decades, but long time. So like, I know this stuff, right? Like, you know, this stuff, we know this stuff, but like, why isn't it like the right and the left brain syncing up? Why aren't things locking in? And so when I really sat with it and I went to The Science of Getting Rich and I thought about it, and like, I'm just thinking about this all wrong. Like, I'm just not thinking about it well. And so I just really reset myself, and I did a lot of work listening to Eckhart Tolle, which is all about eliminating your thoughts and just being like, no thing, no mind, no thought. Going into the void, Joe Dispenza, emptiness, blackness, no form, all of those things. And then I had to rebuild myself. I had to rebuild myself and think, okay, well, what do I want? What do I want to do? What do I want this to look like? I know that the strategies and the tactics and the business information support me, but like there's this whole other side of my world and my reality that like I really want to connect it in. And I want to connect it in a very like holistic, grounded, integrated way. And that's where I am now. All of these shifts started to happen as I started to see the power of mindset and look at like all the coaching programs and all the consultants I worked with through the years who like they were so good at the strategy and the tactic side. And I would have to go over here for like my spiritual coach or my mindset coach or whatever other personal development coach. And like they weren't really integrated. And that made it really hard for me because it was like I was like operating in two worlds. And you probably feel that way too, where it's like, how do I like elevate that mindset? Because it's so much more than just like the power of positive thinking and like affirmations and all of that. And so what I started to do was learn how to integrate the components. And so the first thing was getting really excited about like what I'm doing, like so freaking lit up, passionate, like on fire. And so in the similar way that I was having a hard time like integrating like the strategy and the tactic and the mindset piece, I was also having a hard time like integrating my message as well. So I was showing up and I'm like, I'm the sales consultant, I'm getting clients, I'm making money, but like I just don't feel great about it. And then in behind the scenes, I'm trying to figure out because I'm like, well, look at the marketing and if you know like the internal terminology, revenue operations is like something that I'm good at, where I can look at like the marketing and I can look at the sales and can look at like the client fulfillment and the offer, and like there's this component, but I really didn't know how to position it. But because I was thinking differently and I was looking at things differently, because I wasn't just looking for the tactic anymore. I was looking for this wholeness, this like whole sense of self in my business and in my company and in my direction, and bringing it together and integrating. The client centric approach landed on my lap. And I was like, this is what I've been looking for. Like, this truly is like revenue operations without all the data and the behind the scenes. Like, this is really doing core business transformation in companies, where we can go in and really like create a heart in the business, and we can transform the owner's relationship with the business, the team's relationship with the business, the operations, the offer, but really marketing, sales, customer success, all of that. And from a place of like conversion and sales. And so when it all landed and I was able to pull it together, it brought back a passion inside of me and a joy and a connection and a freshness that was almost like the beginning of my business, my online business. When I launched this business in the end of 2015, like the first iteration of like CeliaFayeMeisel.com and being a coach and helping people with their businesses. And there was this like freshness and newness to it. But because I had been chasing all the strategies for all the years, like I already knew like what to do. So I don't have to go worry about that, and didn't have to go worry about that. And I already had all these things in place for the sales. And so what I decided was that I wanted to be the bridge that I didn't have for my clients. And so that in my client centric approach, we were going to weave in the mindset pieces to it and the emotional connection, because this is an important key, is having an emotional connection to myself and to my clients and to my business, to my sales conversations, to my marketing. That's something that I really value. And some of my clients are going to value that emotional connection and some of them aren't. The spiritual connection, some people are going to value it and some people aren't. So I was able to really customize the journey and continue to customize like what it looks like for people to work with me from a very client-centric approach on the strategy tactic side and on this internal need side. Because the truth is that we have multiple layers. We're multi-dimensional, multi-layered, complex, multifaceted beings. That's the word I was looking for. And we have so much inside of us. But when we're only showing up left brain, or we're only showing up right brain, it's like we're only showing up as part of who we are. And so when that integration happens and we can bring in our whole self, like that's when magic happens. And do you have to change your messaging to reflect that? No. Do you have to change your offers? No, not to reflect that. But if you really want to make big shifts in your business, you're going to want to look at that client-centric approach. And what I found from all I've invested and all I've done and all that strategy and tactic that I've learned, and what I see my clients doing and what I see my colleagues doing and my peers and across the industry, is that nobody's teaching this stuff in this way, especially in the services, coaches, trainings, consulting industry. Like, this is very innovative. And because I'm an innovative sales strategist, it like really excites me to be able to come in and bring this in and know that I'm providing a service to you and to my clients in a way that's truly unique and client-centric, that helps you get that result and reduce that friction. So I wanted to share that with you, because whether you're at a place where you're like, man, like things have got to change in my business. And I know that there's something to this mindset stuff and to the strategy stuff. And like, what would it look like if I was working on both at the same time and I wasn't just like grinding and hustling or, being a high performer and like totally just like focused in and honed in all the time? Like, what would that look like for me to allow some space for creativity and, transformation in my own relationship with my business, but then also to change my client journey and for it to not be like these siloed steps, like you buy the next thing and you buy the next thing and buy the next thing, but like to really create a real transformation that helps people and where you get paid a great amount. And so, if this is you, I definitely invite you to schedule a revenue acceleration call with me. If you're on LinkedIn, you can go to the featured section of my profile and schedule that call. And if you go to my website, celiafaymeisel.com, you can click that book a call link and schedule in with me there. And then we can have a conversation and look at your business and look at what's going on that client-centric revenue generation side, but also on the inner side as well with your mindset and what's happening on the day-to-day of your business. So if you're at that place where you're like, something's got to shift, something's got to change, let's talk. Or you might be at a place where you're like, yeah, things are good right now, but I know that like a new level up is coming, or I want to shift my message. I want to make some changes. I'm just feeling a little bit bored, or we're not able to go to that next KPI, that next revenue goal. I get a lot of clients that are, they're bottlenecked, plateaued. That's the word. They're plateaued at 300K. They want to get to 500K. They're plateaued at 600 to 750K and they want to get to $1 million, right? These are the things that we can work through, especially on the client-centric side and on the mindset side. So I invite you to have a conversation with me. Let me know what your takeaways were and where are you in this journey of integrating your mindset, your strategy and tactic, and really like being that leader in your business that's like fully integrated, because like this is the new paradigm of business, my friends. This is the new way where we have that emotional intelligence and we have that emotional EQ, and everybody's going to get to it differently. Depending on your journey, but I definitely have a very beautiful path and approach to take with clients and those who work with me. So thanks for joining the Friday Live. I'll see you next time. Book that revenue acceleration call with me at celiafaymeisel.com or the featured section of my LinkedIn profile. Bye for